Before we get started into our training sessions, I wanted to have you work on a small project that will incorporate some of the basic functions of Autocad. Don't worry about understanding everything you see here. I'm going to go quickly so we can get through it, but I want to introduce to you these different features and have you see them make an actual drawing. This project is meant to be a sort of icebreaker, like an activity at the opening of a party to help the guests get to know one another. This session will help you get to know Autocad a little bit better. It will make the rest of the sessions much easier for you to learn and to enjoy. Start off by opening the file Quick Run Through. It came with the videos. Select it and open it up. I already have the file open. Start off by pressing the F8 button. The F8 button is a toggle switch, just like all of the function buttons on your keyboard are. Specifically, the F8 button will toggle the ortho command on or off. The ortho command forces your lines to be drawn horizontally or vertically, depending on how you move the mouse, relatively to the first point. It will tell you in the command line if ortho has been turned off or turned on. It will also tell you on your status bar if ortho mode is off or on. And you can also click these buttons here at the bottom to turn those features off and on. Let's start by drawing a rectangle. Use the rectangle command. Pick your first point, and it can be anywhere. Now we can just pick a point if we want, and you can see the coordinates that are being displayed in the dynamic input on the screen. Or I can give them a value. I want to go 50 units, and I'll do that by typing in 50, pressing the Tab key to go to the next field. I want to make it 30 units tall. When finished, press Enter. Here's our rectangle. It's 50 units by 30 units. Press the Escape key anytime you want to end a command or let go of a selection. Now let's offset this rectangle inside by 0.5 units. Press O for offset. Enter in the size of the offset, 0.5. Press Enter. Select the object. And now the direction that you want to offset it in, to the inside. And Escape to leave the command. There's our rectangle inside a rectangle. We've drawn a wall of a building that's 50 units by 30 units by half of a unit thick. Now press the Control key and the number 3 at the same time to open up the tool palette. There are different tabs on here, but we want the Architectural tab. Pick the Door Imperial, and this is a block that we're going to insert that looks like a door. We want to put it on the middle of the wall. Type in MID for midpoint, press Enter. When you see the triangle glyph, that little green image that's there, pick it. Now we've inserted our door. Now we need to move it a little bit and make some adjustments to it. We're using grips on a dynamic block. A dynamic block is a block that isn't static, it's dynamic, it changes. Picking the different glyphs on the block will change the size or shape or other features of what you're trying to do. We can even flip the door inside or out, or left or right. Now we need to use the Trim command to trim the wall away from our door. You can type in TR for trim. Pick the edges we want to trim in between, press Enter. Now select the objects that we want to trim or cut out. Now we have an opening for our doorway to walk through. You can navigate your drawing using the buttons on the mouse, specifically the scroll wheel. If you scroll it back and forth, it will zoom in and out of your drawing. If you press and hold the scroll wheel, it will use a pan command. You'll be able to move around inside your drawing. Now these commands don't move any of the objects in there. It just sort of moves your camera view where you're looking at the file. If you double click it, the scroll wheel that is, it'll do what's called a zoom extents, and it will zoom you all the way out to the extent of your line work. So if you come in, zoom all the way into this door, and now I want to see the entire place, double click the scroll wheel, and it zooms you out. Now let's draw a little room with the polyline command. A polyline is a 2D line with multiple vertices. We want to go to the middle of the left wall, so type in MID. With the ortho command still on, it's forcing us to draw a horizontal line that we're going to make 25 units long. And then we're going to come down here again and pick a point. Now let's make this wall 0.5 units wide. Select it, and then offset, and escape to end. Now we're going to use the trim command again. We're going to select the lines for this wall and for this wall, and press enter. We're going to clean this up a little bit. We want these items to go away. Panning with our mouse. And there we go. Oh, we missed that. That's okay. You can always go back, start the command again, and pick your objects. We have another wall with a room inside. Well, we can't exactly get into this, so we're going to add another door. And there we go. But wait, it needs rotated. We're going to use the rotate command. Type in RO for rotate. Select the object, press enter, and now we're going to pick our base point. And this is the end point glyph for our O snaps. That means it's picking the end point of the line. As we move the mouse around, you can see where it's going to rotate it to. And it does. We'll use our trim command again. Pick our lines. And pick what we want to go away. Now we can get in and out of this room. We want to make this room to be a garage, so we need to put a car in it. Go back to the tool palette, select the vehicles block, and then insert it. But since we're in a plan view, we don't want to look at the side of the car. So select the block, pick on this arrow, and now we can look at a sports car from the top. If you pick this little blue box, you can move your car around where you want it to go. Now we need a doorway to go in and out of the garage. Let's just draw some lines. Start the line command by typing in L or by picking it up here in the ribbon. Just draw them anywhere. You can press the Enter key to restart your last command. This makes for a very quick entry for what you want to do, especially if you're drawing multiple lines over and over again. We'll use the trim command again. Select our cutting lines, which is almost everything. Press Enter. Now pick the lines we want to go away. You can use this crossing window, or you can select the objects themselves. Now we have a doorway to drive in and out of the garage with. Start the line command again. Type in MID for midpoint. See the triangle glyph. Midpoint again. Or another midpoint. And there's our doorway to get in and out of the garage. These are just some of the very basic functions that you're going to see over and over again in AutoCAD. A lot of the work you're going to do is with a line or polyline. And then you're going to offset it and trim it and rotate it, and there's other commands you're going to use, like the move command or the scale command. These are very basic functions that you're going to find using over and over again in AutoCAD until you make your line work look the way you want it to do. Blocks like our door and our car will help us recreate line work multiple times the same way all the time so that you don't have to draw that door again. I'm going to show you throughout this video training series different tricks to use these commands in an efficient way. And I'm going to show you different tricks using things like the fillet command, a command that creates rounded corners between two objects. We're also going to learn how to insert text, for example, and then manipulate it to make it say different things. We'll use other objects and other commands to change things. We'll learn about grip editing. We'll also learn about different customizations and interface options that you can use inside AutoCAD to help you draw as quickly and precisely and efficiently as possible.